Hi guys, this is Justin with Real Shooter. Just got in one of the new Ruger Precision rifles. This was the first outing with it. Idea behind this was to take it out, run some Hornady 140 grain AMAX through it to get a baseline on what the rifle will do with the standard, factory load. And I gotta say, overall, I'm just super impressed with this rifle. It's really outstanding. For the money, I mean, it's just amazing. It's the only word I can think of. $1,000 rifle. Trigger's great. Some people may not like the safety in the trigger. The Savage style AccuTrigger is what it feels like. Doesn't bother me. I'm gonna guess it's between 2 and 3 pounds. I did adjust it down a little bit. Couldn't really tell much difference after I adjusted it, but it was pretty good out of the box. So this thing is just so well put together. It comes with an oversized bolt knob, comes with a threaded muzzle. It's awesome. Here is my friend Jeremy. He's running 140 AMAX over the chronograph. This is Jeremy's first time ever shooting a rifle. He shot 2 groups, got down, never handled the rifle before, adjusted the cheek piece, and I'll show you the results here shortly. One of the coolest things about this rifle is the magazine system. All 4 magazines functioned, no problem. My favorite is that Knight's Armament SR25 mag. It's about the same size as an AICS 10 rounder, and you get 20 rounds in the mag. The comp is a Surefire Pro comp. Picked it up for $60 at a store here locally. Works great. I really like the fact that the diameter is similar to the barrel.
Well, it was good.
It is strong. Is that 4 and 1?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Here we have the 5-shot string Jeremy just shot. There's a 10-shot string. You can see the average for 10 is 28.27. Pretty good SD there for factory ammo. And here we have the target. This was a target that all the rounds were shot on, and I'll kind of walk you through it, give you a little overview of how it worked. If you look there on the right-hand side, 3rd row of dots, far right dot, that was the first round on paper. Then I adjusted, came down to the one marked 02, then made an adjustment and fired 4 rounds. Zeroed the rifle with my standard 6.5 load I use in my other guns, which is 41.8 of H4350 and 139 grain Sonar. And then here's where it gets kind of interesting. If you look up at the top, I started at top left and came down, went left to right on each row. So the first group I shot is horrible, and I wasn't comfortable on the rifle, so I was kind of fiddling with the cheek piece and everything else. And then I shot the second group, and it was worse. So at this point, I'm thinking, man, something's bad wrong. And so I just but then I went back and looked at the 0, and I thought, well, I put all those rounds in there, and those were my 139 loads. So I thought maybe this thing just doesn't like 140. So I got behind the gun and I did some dry fire. I readjusted the cheek piece, and I really focused on the trigger control. And I shot the next group there, which is, under 1/2 inch. That's what all this is with 140 AMAX. And then turned around and shot the next group, that's 3 in one hole, and then one right by it, and then that little thing down there at low that looks like an idiot shot it. Something bit me on my leg right before I pulled the trigger, and I yerked it. So that one's on me. So anyway, after this, let the rifle cool. Got back on it, went down to the second line, and I was really focusing on my grip. And I was trying different things, and you can see that in the groups. On the first one, sub half-inch group, and I changed my grip for the next 2 groups. Tried to be a little looser and float my thumb on the side of the gun, and those groups opened up just under an inch. And that was with trying to kind of baby the gun. And for me, it didn't work. And then the next one, with the dot with 2 shots in it, I really tried to muscle the gun and really pull it hard into my shoulder. And I just aborted that group. And it just didn't feel right. And, when the first one went way out there like that, I knew that wasn't going to be it. So then I kind of went back to where I had been shooting, and that was kind of a medium pressure, thumb wrapped around the grip, and just focusing on pulling the trigger straight back, and fired that group, which is just over a half an inch. Now these groups, the center one is the 0 group with the 139 Sonars. And then these 2 groups are the 2 groups that Jeremy shot. That first one is the one you saw when he was shooting over the chronograph. He put 4 into 319 and then pulled one a little low, but it was still under an inch, 0.7 group. And then he came right back and shot another one, in the 6s. And those are the first 2 and only groups he ever shot on the rifle. He's a good shooter, but that says a lot to be able to get down behind a new gun and rip groups like that. So like I said, overall, very happy with the gun. Everything about it's cool. The modularity, being able to swap things around. Negatives on the rifle, it's you're not going to get something that feels like an Accuracy International for $1,000. There's little things like the locks on the stock feel like they may be an issue long term. They're not the sturdiest things. So I'll keep an eye on that. There's one issue that's been mentioned a lot, which is a loose safety. Kind of wiggles around a little bit. And mine does do that. It doesn't really bother me. Safety works great. It's just one of those things that ideally it would be nice and tight and fit great, but I'm guessing it's just part of the design. It does that. It goes on and off firm. It just kind of wiggles. So thanks for joining us and checking out this video. If you're interested in one of these rifles, man, go ahead and get it, because I think you'll be really happy. See you next time.